Hey world, welcome to episode 4 of TAi, and in today's episode I'm going to differ a little bit from episode 3, and I'm going to talk about me. Who is me is the title of the day. Now who is I, because who is I is you, because you is I is you. I'm talking about me, the personality that has been forming ever since 1991, okay? So let's get to it. Well, I grew up in Philadelphia. I'm African American. Well, and I grew up most importantly in a non-denominational church where they just strictly went by what was in the Bible, didn't try to make up anything extra, just strictly the Holy Bible, okay? And that helped me a lot because it gave me the care that I needed to think about things in the world through a caring face, through a caring heart, so I should say. And I was so involved, me and my family were so involved in the church. My family is still heavily involved in the church. I was giving lectures, I was going out to all the meetings. We was at church like 4 days a week, not just one. We was there 4 days a week. And I didn't complain. It was just life as usual. What else would I be doing? I don't know. As I see, when I grew older, I see all the things that I could have been doing, and it really shocks me. But let's move on. As I grew older into my teenage years, I started to, I would say 11th, 10th grade, I started to drift away a little bit because I started seeing things that when I try to relate to other people in the church or from my own church mind intellect, stuff was starting not to make sense. I started getting a sense that there was so much more information out there for me to gather. And so that's what I kind of did. I will always keep my mind open to new ideas. And I went through a lot of issues with that, with family and friends. One day I was going back and forth between atheism at the time. I was saying, yeah, I believe in Jesus Christ. But then, 3 weeks later or something, I'm like, oh, folly. I don't know what I was thinking back then. I was a real left brain thinker. I became left brain. Science was dominating. Science was the dominant factor. Okay? But still, what kept me was I still had an intuition that science couldn't explain. So then I just felt completely lost at that point. I said, oh, I don't want to live here no more. I just want to die. Nothing makes sense. These people living on Earth are crazy. I know I want to help them and I know what to do, but I can't even help myself. So that's how I felt, at least. I can't even help myself. So how am I going to help anybody else? No matter what I know, what they have to do. If I can't help myself, adios. And that's what I kind of drifted into. I became part of a culture known as being emo. To the outside world, being very emotional, but not outward emotional, just like keep things bottled in, but still have rampant thoughts always just running through your mind, but not any action ever happening. So it drove me to deep depression, very deep suicidal depression. And the music didn't help, because the music where I finally found where they could relate to me, they were just still whispering depressing thoughts in my ear, but I just didn't know it at the time. That was the truth speaking into my ear. That was what was real at the moment, I should say. That was what was real, what they were saying. And another thing, when I would be in a crowd, or if I'll be talking to somebody, it would feel as though I'm outside of my body, just observing the situation. And that me, not I, was just making conversation just to pass the time, or so that, just to entertain, so to speak. Just to entertain. And it drove me to a mode of, I'm just surviving right now. Because I can die any moment, which was true. I could die from anything, which was true. But I don't really know. It was just a very emotional time, and nobody understood. So then when I went to college, I was still in like my confused left brain thinking, but I still cared, and that's what drove people to me, and that's what kind of kept me here on earth, because scars would tell I didn't want to be here at all, okay? But there were people that, even though in my eyes they didn't care as much as I knew they could care, or did as much as I wanted them to do, not just for me, but for themselves, they still stuck around and were like, say, hey buddy, lighten up, or keep your head up, keep that chin up, stand straight. And I would take their advice and just go on about my day. But there were a lot of mental breakdowns during that time, where I had like life problems at home, and my mom, like, I feel as though children are put here for the most part to help their parents. I believe on the inside that we choose who our parents are before we come here, and that's why we feel so attached to them, because we have missions that we need to complete to help them move farther along in life. Because when we're young, we're not, if you have the knowledge, you're not just young and innocent, but you're young and caring and knowledgeable, and you have stuff that can actually work. You have morals that can actually work, and they're not all configured and disconfigured, I mean, by the world and the entities out here. So while in college, after a while, everything started to go like, I'm laughing now, but it was no joke by then. At least like 3 suicide attempts, I can say. 3 or 4, I don't really know. I was just existing, so to speak. I was just doing what I had to do so that I can finally go to sleep at night and wake up and deal with the world again. And it was very, very heavy, because I had people in my life that I knew felt the same way, and that it was something I needed to do, but it just didn't work. It just didn't work out like that. Now looking back on it, I was literally becoming a Satanist. And if you just tie about that and think about your own life, you probably was or are in the same path. Because Satanists, they know the laws of the universe. They know how consciousness works. They know that we're all sovereign beings. But they're willing to look at all man as swine and beast of the field, and that we're all just here to survive. And they wish to populate that into the populace, into the world. And I feel as though that is what was really happening. Now, Satanism is not devil worship, okay? Satanism is not devil worship. It is a huge difference. It's all philosophy, okay? In general. It's all just a different philosophy and different ways of enacting beliefs, okay? Well, I didn't know this back then. If I knew that, my life would be majorly different. But I was doing all of this on my own. I had no master, I had no teacher. So I had to be as strong as I can. I had to wash out all the demons that was in me. Or so, in more regular, all of the insecurities that I had in myself, all of the insecurities that I seen in others. I just had to get over it. And I just had to know what was true. And that's the path that I've been on ever since. Yeah, because I feel as though, I don't know if we all have to, but I know that from my experience, we all have to die. Rather that be as extreme as what I went through with my 4 or 5 suicide attempts, or what else it can be. I think that mentally, or better yet, our ego has to die. Everything that says, oh, we're this, or because I do this, I hold this title, or I'm just an amazing person, and because I'm fucking amazing. Like, that self has to die, man. And I was awakened through knowledge, not through, oh, a ghost or a spirit or something like that. It's literally through knowledge. I was awakened through, like, I saw ancient aliens, and once the ancient alien theory got into my brain and I was able to analyze it for a couple months, it started resurrecting my hope in God, because I said, okay, I knew all this stuff and it makes sense. And this still doesn't make complete sense, but it makes the most sense along with all the other senses. You have to make all of the things into one in order to find the right perspective, or else you have that perspective, 1, 2, 3, 4, you like 5. You have to see it as just one, okay? Just one perspective. And that came to me through knowledge. Because now it's like I'm able to showcase that love to other people. I'm able to show people how much I care about them. And I literally care about everyone that I encounter, okay? I literally, even if you piss me off, I still love you. And I'll still do anything that it will take to help you. Unless you're completely stubborn, then you have to go on and find your life's path, as I did, as everybody has in the past, okay? I'm just doing whatever I can, because this is all I have to live for. I have my family, but this has been my mission since day one, to speak the truth. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna speak the truth. And it is awesome. It makes me feel awesome. And because I know that what I'm doing is affecting people's lives for the better. Like, I can write a rhyme, I can do anything else, and it will benefit me, but I don't really care to benefit me like that. I don't really care, man. And that's why suicidal tendencies are bad, but also it's two sides of everything. There's polarity in everything. It's also good, because there is nothing here on earth to live for. There's nothing real here. Everything real is above. But we're put here to learn life's lessons so that we can get out of this cycle and move on to higher thoughts and higher realms. Okay? So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching episode 4 of TAi, Who Is Me? Now Who Was I? So just TAi, man. That all I want people to do is TAi. Okay? Take care. We all TAi. But do we really TAi? I don't know.